Hello, hello, visionary entrepreneurs, life changers. Welcome back to our Momentum Monday. Today we are live inside of our Facebook group, Abundant Entrepreneurs. Today, our episode 197. Let's talk about what to do when nothing seems to work. So, how many of you maybe sometimes you meet such kind of a situation? Do you sometimes feel like, oh, things going too slowly, right? You really wish things could accelerate, things could change around you, and some of you maybe feel like, do you sometimes feel like stuck in some kind of situation, and you feel like walls around you, and you feel like you cannot break through, right? And also sometimes you may feel like, oh, I tried everything. You would say that I tried everything, I did this and that, I worked very hard, but things still did not change, right? So how many of you sometimes feel that way? I recently felt this in both, actually, in life and also in work. First, let's talk about the life. Actually, it's not my directly my own life, it's my daughter's life in the school. Many parents, like especially the kids, were very frustrated for their current like a pre-calculus course. Like for example, the kids, the junior kids and some senior kids that join this course, now it's almost like, now it's how many months? It's over 5 months already. And left, there are only 3 months left for the whole school year, but things are going super slow, and many students and parents express their frustration to the teacher, to the AP, to the principal about how this course is not, they are not going anywhere, right? They are failing. Even those excellent students, like students are who are making, for example, like great scores and great study in other courses, including other AP courses, advanced placement for like college, right? For the more next level of courses, they are doing great job, over 90s or sometimes even over 100s, because of like some bonus merits, bonus questions they get in other AP courses, in other courses. But now they are failing in the pre-calculus, and they are getting only like, for example, 60s, 70s, and kids were super frustrated. Some of them were crying, some of them wants to quit this, like totally give up, because they tried hard, they tried to prepare, but the teacher's teaching and preparation, or the review, it's much like, let's say, much easier than the tests, and the tests is harder, and also the scoring is very strict. So now kids and the parents, everybody is frustrated, and the AP has been working with this, the new AP working with the teacher and trying to improve it. But since nothing's changing, so we are now, more parents get involved and try to strengthen the communications. And we did surveys, we did like both student survey, parent survey, and submitted our discoveries and our suggestions to the school, but nothing specific is changing yet. So it's like in this situation, both parents and students feeling like they are stuck in there, like they cannot break through. Then like, if the teacher does not improve her ways and her understanding of this situation, right, and it does not fully cooperate to find more effective ways, and everybody's feeling like we are being bounded, like we are being, it's really like a limited. It's like, it's like nothing seems to work, right? So in this situation, of course, parents are not giving up. Even the kids trying to give up, and the parents need to be strong, have to encourage the kids and to keep their efforts, and especially how to recognize their own identity and separate their identity from this one course. Because some of them are cursing themselves. They feel like they are still too stupid, they're dumb, they could not do good with this course. So that's impacting them, and they are having self-doubt. They think they are too dumb and stupid, and even though they are doing great in other courses, right? So this is impacting many kids, their identity as well. So it's not healthy at all. So as parents, now we are encouraging our kids, that we are doing two handful like work. One side, encouraging kids to have this positivity, kind of like a new perspective, and also how to get out of this kind of a block, right? Out of this stuck in situation, to recognize who they are, understand who they are and what they can do, and do not like limiting their potential and their view about themselves. Another side, we are strengthening our communication with the schools. Yeah, since the still thing seems like not going anywhere. So parents, for example, one side they are encouraging their kids, some may still want to give up, some are trying to find the AP or teachers talk, and some are hiring out schools tutors to support those kids. So everyone is trying to find different ways. But I found through the whole situation, the most important thing is keep calm. Do not let the emotions, right, overwhelm ourselves and lose our temper. Maybe some parents get very frustrated, they get into angry, they want to argue and want to fight, they want to go to the school, meet in person, whatever. It's like sometimes if we do not tame our own dragons, right, we will lose our temper, lose our that kind of a thoughtfulness, and also the situation of the whole picture. And even though by the end of the year, maybe this, especially I know, is will negatively impact the juniors because they have the whole GPA to prove that for them to support them to apply for universities. So this is the most critical year for them. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, calm down. I ask myself as well as one of the parents who is impacted. My kids was impacted, right, in this kind of a situation. And I'm asking myself how one side I encourage my students how to have a better recognize about her values, her personality, her intelligence. That's the most important thing, right? And especially how in this kind of situation when you cannot change other people. Like for example, the AP and the principal thinks they are limited. They could not fire the teacher, especially during the middle of the school, right? Even the teacher has been complained by many students for quite many years, and they still could not do anything. So, and we are trying to, like, I send emails, involved the teacher, keep the whole transparency to make keep everybody on the same page and share the survey, share the discoveries and suggestions, and try to empower both the teacher and the students, because the teacher in her situation maybe she could not see the full like a context or picture, right? She's not knowing that her one course is impacting the whole students and parents' lives and the students' future as well, right? And then their opportunity and the potential. So we are trying to improve the transparency and effectiveness of the communications, even though things are still going very slow, but we're trying to both escalate to communicate, but also keep that transparency. So my purpose here is to try to empower both the whole community. As a leadership coach, now I feel like, okay, I'm also playing like leadership coach's role in this kind of a life situation in the school education system, trying to empower both like our the principal, the AP, the teacher, and also parents and students, and try to calm down everybody and more realistically and also rationally to look at about the analysis, the results, and how from the survey, from the results, from the discoveries, we can put an effective solution in a transparent way. Okay, because previously there are like scattered communications and not fully transparent in the whole community. So that's one way I'm playing. But here I learned why this is relevant to you is like I'm just using this as an example to let you know, like when things sounds like out of your hands, right, out of your control, because there are involved so many people, right, and you cannot change other people as well. What you can do first is really calm down and look from the outsider. Even though I'm impacted, I'm insider. I'm look at the things from a perspective and angle of like an outsider or even an observer to see what's the root causes, right? What's a root cause and find the root causes. That's why we did the survey and analysis, and then to propose the effective ways. But most important thing, what can I do now? Because I did all the communications, I shared with everybody. But what I can do is first, as a parent, encourage my kids, right? And also I'm trying to find a tutor to support her, give her that not just a knowledge side of support, but also intellectual and emotional and mental support. That's super important, especially during a critical time. At the same time, me as a parent, we need to do more meditation, calm down, and to sort out things in all this kind of messy kind of like a let's say matrix kind of a situation, right? And how we can see things through and see the root cause and find effective ways. Maybe not fully solve this situation, but at least I think the most important thing is like how to support my students, the like almost like a victim in this kind of situation through with better mental, emotional, and also like intellectual kind of a support, right? That's the most important thing, I think. At the same time, how to also support our education community. Other people do not lose there because there's quite some like emotional conflicts there, and do not. I'm trying to balance there to not let either side, the parents or the teacher side, right, to give up the situation. Because once anybody really give up or like cannot lose their temper or the emotions, right, the things will get even worse. So that's what I'm doing here. And also now talking about not just in life, right, the work as well. In the work situation, sometimes since going very slowly, for example, in coaching, I've been doing this for years and put all my efforts into it. And of definitely, I would say, fairly say, I could definitely put into more efforts, right, on more strategic and smarter efforts. And then, but I would say like I did make a lot of efforts and initiations, but did not really like sometimes a lot more failures than I would say progress, right? And sometimes you can really get frustrated, and then sometimes you can even fall into that kind of wrong belief that oh, nothing will work. It's just like feel like oh, maybe I'm cursed. My dream is too big, and the things is not working out, right? It's like oh, maybe I should just lie down. I should just take things easy. I should not pursue my big dreams and vision anymore, right? Sometimes do you sometimes feel that way? You just feel like oh God, please don't give me this kind of a big vision or dreams. That's too much, and it's like you're sometimes we even blame God, right? We say oh, you're not supporting me anything. I did so many things, so much efforts, but I think it's not going anywhere. And why should I bother? Why should I still keep my efforts, right? Sometimes we may, if you have the, at least, if you have a faith, if you have a God, at least you could have somebody to release your like emotions and your spirit burden, right? That's good thing actually, I would say. But at the same time, like for example, also I'm doing my finance business as well, and the hardest work that's a networking marketing business, and it's great. I benefit a lot. I learned great knowledge in finance and did great like financial planning for my family. It did help me so much, and also helped a few like friends as well. But it's not going much anywhere because this business, the best part is because it's networking business. You need like a team to do the to do the work, and you need a great team actually support each other, and we have a great system. But the team part and the recruiting part, right, is a little bit challenging, not a little bit, but a lot of challenge, I would say. We got some good people. We think we can work together, share great things with them, but some of them quit because they did not see big picture and they feel like, oh, it's a difficult, and maybe they think it's not going where. It's like similar situations. Oh, it's not going too much. Maybe they did some efforts and did not see big progress or big difference, and then they gave up, right? And they found the business itself, the knowledge and the business system, everything is training great, but the team building part, the leadership part actually is the most challenging part. So for a while, I almost like fall into that kind of belief. It's like, oh my God, it's like I tried so much, and I got so many potential good team partners, right? And then quite many of them quit, or quite some others people are not active at all. It's like they are lacking of their self motivation, or they are too busy, their hands are tied. You meet such kind of situation in any kind of a job, right? For example, either you are working in a company, or you're working for other people or employers, or working in your own business. Here we are most entrepreneurs, right? You may feel sometimes that kind of your hands are tied, like you could not like there are walls around you, and what can I do? Because you cannot change other people directly. Everybody has their own agenda, everyone has their own life's issues, right? You're struggling. Some are maybe tight of their time management, some of them is not motivated enough, their desire is not strong enough, or they do not have enough hunger, right? And some other people life things this and that happen, and or maybe they did not see immediately money from it and from the business, and then they gave up, and then they went back to work for other people to get the stable income, right? There's all these kind of things. You cannot change other people directly. So what can we do now in both life and like a work situation, right? In a business situation, what can we do? Things are not working, super slow. We did see here and there minor like tiny progress, like but not good enough, right? Not motivating enough for us to go. So what can we still do? And another day, I was listening to Jim Rohn's motivational motivational video, short video, even though he has already passed away. I think he's a first mentor of Tony Robbins. He's a great mentor, I would say. Really admit that's why Tony Robbins really benefited since those early years, right? Tony Robbins has been, he's my mentor as well. So now Jim Rohn is also my mentor, even though I'm not seeing him in person, Jim Rohn, but Tony Robbins, I went through all his his live events, online, and in person, and also in his a coaching academy. I graduated from his coach academy. But I would say, I hope they can give more examples because they are great at speaking and all this kind of like a pitches, right? Like a great pitches. But I would have found that like over 40 minutes, they are actually repeating the similar thing. I would do a little bit different. That's why at the beginning I want to share some live examples so you could resonate, right? Otherwise you don't know, oh, they are speaking so great, but it's more like pitch me, and not give me specific example. I would be more curious about their strugglings. Tony Robbins did give that during his live events, and Jim Rohn, I would do more research to understand his journey, like how he failed at the beginning and failed more times, and then eventually he wanted to change. He did share a little bit about that journey, but too brief. I want to learn more about that. But the inspiration, I would say he's a great one, great speaker. The inspiration I got from his speech is about it's about like you need to make changes, right? For things to change, you need change. That's the key here, really, from my personal experience as well. My personal transformative experience and like aha moments as well. Like for things to change, you need to change first, because the world will not change around you, and nobody will change for you. Okay, only you can change for yourself. Like even though you feel like, oh, this opportunity is great and will definitely do you, like do your team members and to other people a great benefits, but not everybody can see that, right? Or even they maybe initially see it, but after some efforts they would give up and they said, oh, it's too difficult, right? Even they say the good picture, but they cannot. And like last week I shared that like insights. It said everyone has a great dream. Most people has great dreams, right? But most people fail because of their lack of consistency, the commitment and consistent self-discipline every day. Really, that's everyday discipline. Most people fail on this. It's not because they do not have good dreams or visions. Everybody wants to have a great life and a better success, right? But because of this daily lack of commitment and the self-discipline, this is the most difficult muscles to build. That's why most people fail. And here, first I would say that make that changes. What can we start with, right? I would suggest some like easy ways for yourself, especially when you are so frustrated. Easy ways, for example, the learning part. And Jim Rohn, for example, he suggested we find the top skills we want to be like expert or specialize in it, so that we will have more confidence in there, right? And you will be more recognized in that area. I personally, I would think, oh wow, I want to really have my more further expertise and like a specialty in, for example, copywriting and speaking. And my top three, actually they are connected: copywriting, speaking, and also the personal conversation. The conversation, especially strategic conversation, build a relationship connection, and also at the same time close. I'm good at building connections. I'm good at making friends, for example, and with my kindness, with my like genuine heart, but I'm not so good at closing, like from a business angle, right? Closing to really make things like a conversion part. That's the top three. Actually, they are really directly connected because they are part of marketing and sales, right? So the copy, but be more specific, it's like copywriting, speaking, and a personal conversation to close. So that's my top three, the challenges and also the areas I want to focus more. And how would I do that? So listening to, for example, I would listen to more videos and do more loud reading and repeating to myself and learn more strategies how to better close, right? And have a personal conversation. That's where I will be more consciously learn and put my efforts in. So how about you? I would encourage you to write down to clarify what areas you want to learn and become the expert in that area and be recognized in that area as well, right? And that will change your situation. Okay, that's one, the learning area. The second one is really about the goals. never really neglect the goals importance, right? And the majority of the time we say, oh, we have big goals, but sometimes, do you agree with that? Because the goal and the dream is too big, and if we do not specify it and we do not make them measurable, and remember that smart goals, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, and the R is relevant and the T is time based. That smart goals. It's super important. Without that, even though you have a big vision, big dreams, and sometimes I feel like, oh, it because it's too big, and it's not specific enough. It's not like short term, like specific enough for us to take action and to implement, and then we lose on our daily activities to support that big dreams. So it's super important to turn that big dreams into your like smart short term, from like a 90 days to monthly to weekly and even to daily goals activities, because once you put those big goals break down further into daily ones, that will be turned into your activities. For example, I book on my calendars the daily activities, right? And that's really specific. And I would say 100, almost like 100%. I let's say, and let me be a little bit humble. Everything on my calendar, I 100% accomplish them. But some goals, like smaller goals, I may be like let's say 70 or 80, especially those business strategic ones, right? 70 or 80%, I can definitely, there's a big space for me to do better one, right? For me to accomplish, for example, give me a simple example, right? That's why I like examples, because people, it's good for your speaking, but if you do not give specific examples, people lose there. And let's say, for example, if you want every week, let's talk about every week targets, right? If you want every week turn at least one, let's say conversion, one person to be your client or to be your team member, whatever, right? It's like just one person to be a potential client or partner. You need what? You need to first have an idea about what's your roughly conversion ratio. For example, if you need at least 10 to 15, at least, okay, 10 to 15 people to convert into one client or partner. So how many should you do? Okay, so that means if you work 5 days, every day you need at least reach out to 3 prospects, right? At least 3. That means 5 days to 15. From the 15, maybe you can get the one person converted. It depends on how good is your conversion ratio. That's why initially I said I need to improve my skills in conversation, personal conversation, and closing, right? So you get specific ideas, specific goals, and smart goals, and put that into your daily activities. And like every day, for example, set up 3 person you can reach out, you find those prospects and reach out and practice your conversation and the closing. That's much more specific than the whole year. Oh, okay, I want to make, for example, I want to make $1 million, and I want how many clients. That's a too big like targets for you to specify it in your daily actions, right? So it's super important you bridge this from big to the small specific daily activities for you to get there. And now things like, it's still not easy, right? But at least it's more let's say achievable. It's more specific and it's measurable because it's by per day, every day, right? So now what's left? The third part, the first one is learning, the second one is the goals, right? The third part is that really make that change in your personal changes. Specifically, it's your, when we get to the daily level, it's your habits. Think about to accomplish that daily small goals and to keep that consistently achievable. What kind of habits do you need, right? For me, I personally, I desperately need to change my habits to go to sleep earlier and get up earlier so I have my full day, right? That's my number one top challenges. And I'm reminding myself to get there, and I'm making tiny, like small progress and trying to get there. And sometimes there are still like many contingent things, right, get into my way, blocking me to accomplish that, even tiny, small goals. But I know that is my number one challenge, number one, like a contingency now hanging above my head. If I, this is like, we can call it's like a bottleneck, or you can call it like a needle mover. Okay, needle mover. You need to find your needle mover. For me, is this kind of a schedule thing. Okay, even though I'm good at my time management, but it's like twisted. The time is not very good, like for efficient and effective work schedules. So I need desperately change that. How about your needle mover. Comment under video, let me know. Okay, find that specific needle mover that you can change yourself when things are not seems not working, and when nobody can change, right? The only person you can change is you, and the only things you can change is your perspective, your vision, and turn your specific like big dreams and vision into your specific daily goals, and then change your daily habits to do those things to accomplish as daily small goals, right? That's the best thing you can do. So the 3 levels I mentioned what you can do, but the fundamental things that you need the transformation, you need the change for things around you to change. So you need to learn. Okay, you need to learn those areas like I mentioned, my top 3 areas, right? Copywriting, speaking, and the conversation closing. And what's yours? What's your top learning area you want to improve? Write down under the video as well. Comment under video. And the second part is the goals. What would be your big goals? Say that out, right? Even I want really like $1 million income. That's my not just for income, because that's like a status, I would say. That's the state you want to reach there, and then turn that into your goals. Okay, daily goals. For example, every day, for example, work at least 8 hours, and so far sometimes actually work just 3 or 4 hours and to already get a lot of things done. But for me to get to that level, I definitely need to make more effective working hours and making more specific strategies and implementation things to happen, right? For example, daily, at least I need to find or specify and reach out to the like 3 specific prospects and follow up, and really have a great follow up. I would say consistent follow up, and then the third level. So second level of goals, I really encourage you to write down your big goals and also the daily activities that can achieve those goals, right? And repeat those things. Really, I remember Tony Robbins. That's why now I understand more and more. Initially, years ago, I could not fully understand all his teaching, some specific ways he's teaching, right? And now I fully understand what they're talking about. All the mentors, when they're talking about, for example, repetition is the mother of success. Definitely, I agree with that. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes you do not want to do those like repeating things, but those tiny small things will really make difference in years. That's why he said another things like people overemphasize like what they can accomplish in 1 year, but like say underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years, because they all had this experience and they found now you found that if you are on this kind of a track of a mindset and thinking, now you are more and more close to success. Okay, you understand it's all true now. I fully understand what he's talking about. And the third one is really that kind of a daily habits. Find that needle mover that you can change, that will change other things of your life and your work as well. Okay, so together that's the changes you want to make, the needle movers and also the areas you want to really improve yourself, while other things are going very super slow and not changing around you. You change yourself, and from you are the core, you are the center of your environment, and from your change, you can rebuild your new environment and things will happen to you. I'm saying that kind of a already I've been seeing the changes when I'm changing things and when I'm following up, when I sometimes want to give up, but I did not give up. I persisted and I followed up, and I did see that things are changing, even in very like a small pack. That means I need to make bigger changes of myself, okay, for things to have a bigger change in myself, around myself. And also that's like a planting the seeds. When you plant in the seeds for a long time, right, through a few seasons, you may not see any change. But eventually, when you see the sprouts and when you keep putting the efforts into the one day, the little sprouts will grow into some sprouts, by the way, some sprouts will fail and die, but the other sprouts like will grow. Eventually you will get the fruits, you will get the harvest, right? I had an experience when I was planting my garlic garden there. Even though it's like small trial, small implementation experiment, I would see that expressed the truth. Okay, that's the truth of planting like a farmer. And you need to have the vision, you need to have that belief, you need to have the faith that if you put, that's a universal law, I would say, because the truth and the faith is based on universal law. Nobody can change that law. If you put enough good enough efforts in long enough times, things will change, and you will see, maybe little by little, that result coming to you. Okay, I hope today's efforts, okay, almost like 30 minutes, and next time I will challenge myself to make even shorter videos and to get the points up. Okay, so everyone, keep your learning, set up your goals into your daily activities, and also change your habits, that needle mover, to make things happen in you and then around you. Okay, we will see you soon. Okay, bye bye.